Welcome back to another episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, your go-to source for staying sharp in a fast-moving world of manufacturing, packaging, coding, and beyond. I'm your host Alexa, and today we'll discuss topics ranging from President Trump's decision to roll back tariffs on food staples like beef and coffee, to doubts surrounding China's soybean purchase promises, a historic $85 billion rail merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern, and finally the launch of Doritos and Cheetos Simply NKD, a new line free of artificial colors and flavors. In a significant policy shift, President Donald Trump has announced a rollback of U.S. tariffs on a wide range of food staples, including beef, coffee, and tropical fruits. The move is seen as a direct response to growing public pressure over high grocery store prices and economic concerns that have been a top issue for voters. The decision marks a dramatic retreat from the administration's signature tariff policy, which has been a cornerstone of Trump's second term. The goal of those steep levies was to encourage domestic production, but this reversal suggests an acknowledgement of their impact on consumers. The announcement comes on the heels of major wins for Democrats in off-year elections in states like Virginia and New Jersey, where voters cited the economy as their primary concern. Aboard Air Force One, President Trump commented on the decision, stating, "We just did a little bit of rollback on some foods like coffee." When pressed on whether his tariffs contributed to higher consumer prices, he acknowledged, "I say they may in some cases, but insisted that the costs have been borne by other countries." By signing an executive order, Trump has removed tariffs not just on beef and coffee, but also on tea, fruit juice, cacao, spices, bananas, oranges, tomatoes, and some fertilizers. This is expected to bring relief at the checkout counter, especially with beef prices currently at record highs. The Food Industry Association applauded the action, calling it a critical step to ensure an adequate and affordable food supply. Critics, however, were quick to frame the decision as a political maneuver. Virginia Democrat Representative Don Bayer said, "President Trump is finally admitting what we always knew. His tariffs are raising prices for the American people." He added that the White House is trying to cast this as a pivot to affordability after getting drubbed in recent elections. The White House explained that some of the original tariffs are no longer necessary due to new framework trade agreements reached with countries like Ecuador, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Argentina. In a surprising turn, the president also floated the idea of using the revenue collected from tariffs to fund $2,000 checks for many Americans, possibly in 2026. He suggested this money would be real money earned from other countries, though he also mentioned using the same funds to pay down the national debt, leaving questions about the plan's feasibility. This move aims to directly address the financial strain felt by many households as inflation remains elevated across the country. Hopes for American farmers are fading as new data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture casts serious doubts on whether China will follow through on its promise to buy millions of bushels of American soybeans. This commitment was highly publicized by the Trump administration last month following a high-stakes meeting between President Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping. The USDA report, released after the government reopened, shows a stark reality. Since the summit, only 2 Chinese purchases of American soybeans have been recorded, totaling just 332,000 metric tons. This is a fraction of the 12 million metric tons that Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins said China had agreed to purchase by January. It's also nowhere near the 25 million metric tons she claimed they would buy annually for the next 3 years. For American farmers who had hoped their biggest customer would resume buying, this news is a significant blow. According to CoBank economist Tanner Ekme, there isn't much incentive for China to buy from the U.S. right now. They have ample supply from Brazil and other Southern American countries, and the remaining U.S. tariffs, still high at about 24%, make American soybeans more expensive. As Ekme put it, "We are still not even close to what has been advertised from the U.S. in terms of what the agreement would have been." This uncertainty sent a shock through the market, with soybean prices falling sharply by 23 cents to $11.24 per bushel on Friday. Beijing, for its part, has not confirmed any specific purchase agreement, only that a consensus was reached to expand trade. President Trump addressed the issue, telling reporters his team was assured by Chinese officials that more purchases are coming. They're in the process of doing not only a bit, But they'll be doing a lot of soybean purchases, he said, without offering specific details. This situation leaves farmers in a tough position. They are already grappling with the soaring costs of fertilizer, seed, and equipment. Caleb Ragland, president of the American Soybean Association, expressed cautious optimism but highlighted the uncertainty. We don't want to assume they won't, but it's already going to be a wonderful day when we actually deliver those soybeans and when there's my money in hand. He worries that without the significant Chinese purchases or government aid, thousands of farmers could face going out of business, stating, "We're still looking at sharp losses and the red ink." In a move that could reshape the American transportation landscape, shareholders of Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern have thrown their weight behind a historic $85 billion merger. The goal of this massive deal is to create the nation's first true coast-to-coast rail network. Support for the plan was overwhelming, with roughly 99% of shareholders from both railroads voting in favor on Friday. However, this isn't just a done deal just yet, as the U.S. Surface Transportation Board must still give its stamp of approval before the merger can be completed. Union Pacific CEO Jim Vena expressed confidence in the move, stating, "Our shareholders see the value and understand this merger will unlock new opportunities to enhance service, growth, and innovation." Vena indicated that the companies hope to file their formal application late this month or in early December, kicking off what is expected to be a lengthy review process. If approved, the combined railroad would boast more than 50,000 miles of track across 43 states, linking major ports on both the Atlantic and Pacific coast. Proponents argue this will streamline the delivery of raw materials and goods by eliminating the delays that often happen when shipments are handed off between different railroads. Despite the optimism from the boardroom, the deal is facing significant pushback from competitors and regulators. Chemical manufacturers and rival railroad BNSF have raised alarms that the merger could hurt competition and drive up shipping rates. A group of 9 Republican attorney generals recently wrote to the Surface Transportation Board warning that the deal could kneecap American companies' ability to compete with foreign manufacturers. They argued that the merger might result in undue market concentration that stifles competition and therefore creates higher prices, lower reliability, and less innovation. On the political front, President Trump has signaled his support, telling Vena the deal sounds good to him after a meeting in the Oval Office. While the Surface Transportation Board is technically independent, the administration's pro-business stance has left executives optimistic about their chances. Financially, the stakes are incredibly high, with the deal valuing Norfolk Southern at roughly $320 per share and including a massive $2.5 billion breakup fee if things fall apart. Some of America's favorite snacks are getting a major makeover. PepsiCo announced it is launching new toned-down versions of its famously bright orange Doritos and Cheetos. The new line, called Doritos and Cheetos, simply NKD, will hit store shelves on December 1st and will be made without any artificial colors or flavors. This move is part of a larger shift at PepsiCo, which is working to remove synthetic dyes from its products. Don't expect the new snacks to be completely colorless, though. Instead of their signature vibrant orange, they will have a lighter hue closer to a natural tortilla chip. The company is responding to pressure from both federal regulators and consumers who are increasingly wary of artificial ingredients. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been urging companies to eliminate synthetic food dyes by next year, and states like Texas are passing laws requiring warning labels on foods with artificial ingredients. While PepsiCo has sold a Simply brand of those snacks since 2002, those weren't designed to taste like the originals. These new Simply NKD versions are meant to mimic the classic flavors, but with a shorter, cleaner ingredient list. For example, they won't contain flavor-enhancing additives like disodium isonate and disodium guanylate. Rachel Ferdinando, the CEO of PepsiCo Foods US, said in a statement, "We're turning expectations upside down, removing artificial colors, not the flavor, and proving that unforgettable taste can be colorless." The Simply NKD line will include popular flavors like Cool Ranch Doritos and Flaming Hot Cheetos and will be sold at the same prices as the original versions. If you're a fan of the classic bright orange dust, don't worry, PepsiCo has confirmed that the original Doritos and Cheetos will remain on the market. We're back with another segment of Recall Radar. This week we have ByHeart Infant Formula, which is on a nationwide recall due to potential contamination with Clostridium botulinum linked to 31 cases of infant botulism across 15 states. Parents are urged to stop using all ByHeart whole nutrition infant formula products immediately. We also have Face Rock Creamery garlic cheddar cheese. It's being recalled for potential Listeria monocytogen contamination. It's been limited to 16 units sold in Oregon. It has a use-by date of 11/04/26, and you're urged to please either destroy the product or return it to our retail location for a full refund. There's also Jenny's Passion Fruit Dreamsicle ice cream bars. It's being recalled nationwide due to undeclared wheat and soy allergens posing risks for those with allergies. You're looking for lot codes of 25-210, which is the only Jenny's product affected. Customers who have purchased the product are urged to return it to the place of purchase for a full refund. And lastly, we have Tops Mixed Fruit and Strawberry Jam. It's being recalled for undeclared carmazine, a synthetic dye which could cause allergic reactions. The specific products that you're looking for, so you're looking for Tops Mixed Fruit Jam, 475 grams, batch number 4F1101 with best before due date of 10/06/2026, and Top Strawberry Jam, 475 grams, batch number 4F1101. This week's episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update is brought to you by our SNEED-JET XL. It's a thermal inkjet handheld printer that prints date, lot, and badge coding on nearly any surface, looking at glass, plastic, metal, flexible packaging, or even glossy boxes. Its four 1-inch cartridges provide a total print height of 4 inches. With a 5-inch touchscreen, 8GB storage, and a lightweight battery-powered design, the SNEED-JET XL offers flexible on-the-go printing. That's it for this week's episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, but the conversation doesn't stop here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss an update. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know what topics you'd like to see us dive into next. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.